Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. My name's Katie. I work with SCHLAGE Locks. A little info about me. I have been in the lock industry for 5 years now. I started out on the commercial side, but went over to residential about 2.5 years ago. And joining me is my boss, Eric. He's the channel sales manager.
Good morning.
All right, I will go ahead. We created a PowerPoint just to give the builders and the end users some info about our locks, a little history about us. So this one, I'll go ahead and get started. SCHLAGE has been around for 100 years, started with Walter SCHLAGE. So this year is our 100-year anniversary. Get into the details. So SCHLAGE, we have about four tiers. We have good, better, best, and then we have our electronics. Good starts out as the opening price point. It's our J series. We have variety of levers, knobs, finishes. We even have the matte black finish in that series now. We also have we have a deadbolt you'll see there. You move on up to tier 2. It's our SCHLAGE F series. Same thing with J. It's a bigger variety though with the knobs and levers. There's a longer warranty, lifetime warranty on finish and mechanical. And then you'll see the difference with the deadbolt is that it's all a solid finish, whereas the J series, you still do have that gold plated for the cylinder. We move up to tier 3, we get into our deco line. So this allows the homeowner to customize their levers and knobs with a decorative backplate. You can do anything from contemporary to transitional to traditional. And with the electronics, that's our top tier. Also, we have SCHLAGE Custom. That is a new line that we rolled out about a year ago. I will go into that deeper, but that's our top end line with the electronics and custom. So I'll get started with J series. You'll see that we have the 2 main handle sets, but like I said, they're available in a variety of finishes. And then there we have levers and knobs fitted for any style, whether it's the traditional, like the Seville, or the contemporary, like the Solstice. And we do offer the square back plates, the Collins trim with either the Solstice or Broadway to make it more of that contemporary finish. And then we'll go into F series. So you'll see on this page here, this is all F series and the electronics upgrade if that's something that builders are offering. So the Century style is considered our contemporary for the electronics, as well as handle sets and decorative backplates. And then on the bottom there, you'll see all of the finishes that we offer for the F series line. Transitional, this is something we like to call a compromise between traditional and contemporary. Gives it a little twist to it. So we have that Addison, still square like the Century, but it gives it more of a traditional look. So it's not too contemporary if that's something that homeowners are looking for. And then pictured with it are just some levers and knobs that kind of match either style. And then traditional, this is something that's very popular, especially in the Maryland area. We have the Camelot. It's used a lot on homes that builders are offering, and also with the different knobs. And then we offer Camelot in the electronics as well. And then this is a list of all of our decorative backplates that you can offer to homeowners with their knobs or their levers. And there's a wide variety there, and we offer them in all the finishes as well. I'll get into SCHLAGE Custom. This was the series I was talking about that's labeled part of our best tier. SCHLAGE Custom rolled out about a year ago, something that we offer with that, and I will show a video that will go into detail with that. Basically, it's a lock, so when you're building your home or you're getting the locks together, you have to do a passage and a privacy. This lock kind of narrows it down to just one SKU. You can there's a privacy pin, and I'll show that in the video. That pin will basically determine if the lock becomes a privacy or a passage. You don't install it if you want it as a passage, and you would install it if you have a privacy function. And also it gets rid of the look of the screw, so it's a concealed screw look as well. And then there we have a lineup. We also, with the custom series, have the 3/4 inch handle sets for our estate series. And also the different finishes. We came out with glass knobs. That's been a big hit with the custom line, 100% true glass. Those are pretty heavy duty, and it provides a sleek look to the homes. And I'll show this quick video. The sound may be off, but
This is SCHLAGE custom door.
You lost video.
Oh.
Or, I mean sound. So you might want to walk through it.
Yep. So this will show you the pin with the privacy and passage. It's very easy to install. And also the cool thing about SCHLAGE Custom is that you can put a knob and a lever on each side because everything's completely independent. So we'll close that. Let's go back to the. So I was saying you can have a knob on one side, a lever on the other. They're completely independent of one another. Also, with doing the different styles on each side, you can do a matte black on one side, satin nickel on the other, and custom will allow you to change that out even if the lock's installed. It's a simple release on the bottom of the plate and allows you to pop it off, and you can pop on a new lever if you're changing the style. I'm sorry, the back plate as well. You can change those out later on down the road. Something new that we rolled out this year with the SCHLAGE Custom line is the black stainless finish. This is something that's very popular with the appliances. So we are the only lock brand that is offering this. We have a widespread with the mechanical locks, the handle sets, and the electronics that can complete that package to show the similar finish to your appliances if that's something that's being offered in your homes. So I'll go on to the keyless locks. We're seeing this as a big trend. This is getting offered on a bunch of homes, whether it's our Z-Wave lock where you involve an integrator or it's Wi-Fi based. So we have a portfolio of locks here. We'll start out with the keypad locks. That's something that you would see probably a few years ago with like the BlackBerry Touch keypad buttons. And then we move over to the Connect and Sense, and then the R-Encode lock here that we just rolled out. So the first two on the left are non-connected. So those are basically just serving as a keypad lock. It won't need an app or any smart home features, whereas the two on the right, they do allow you to integrate and work remotely.
You have a question, Katie. What is an integrator? So an integrator is somebody that would connect, this is Eric, I'm with SCHLAGE as well. And an integrator basically could be alarm.com, it could be Control4, and then you also have people like Vintage. And what they would do is we sell what we call Z-Wave or Zigbee locks, and that's like a radio frequency that allows that connectivity between the hardware to the internet, and then they have a board or a hub that basically then enrolls that lock and gives you accessibility to it. And then what we've done is then moved into SCHLAGE Sense, which has a Wi-Fi hub itself where you don't need an integrator. And then Katie will talk a little bit about encode. Did that answer the question?
All right, so yep, I will get into encode. So our SCHLAGE encode lock, Eric brought up the Sense. It's basically our first version of the encode. The Sense, you had to have a separate adapter that had to be plugged in 40 feet from the lock to work it remotely, whereas the encode, everything has been built into the lock. So there are no additional pieces. There's nothing you need to go through a third party. There's no recurring charge. Basically what you would do is, I'll show you. So with this encode, you have the keypad function, you have a key override, and then you also have the capability of working it with your phone. And I will open the app here to show you what that looks like. So the app is called SCHLAGE Home. Hold on one second, I apologize. I'm trying to log in. So it's called the SCHLAGE Home app. It's free of charge to download on the Apple and Android store. And I think I have a PowerPoint, sorry.
So you have a slide on that.
Yep. So basically when you open the app, you'll see that first picture there on the left. That kind of shows you what your home screen will look like. If the lock is unlocked, it'll show you that green. That green will then turn, if you were to lock it from your phone, it would then switch to red to let you know that the lock is locked. You'll see there at the bottom, there's a history button. That app provides an audit trail of who's been using the lock. And then also on the left side, you'll see a gear that allows you to do your settings where you can do an auto lock. After you shut the door, the lock will automatically lock from 15 seconds to 1.5 minutes after you shut the door. And then that bottom right silhouette, that is where you would click. You can add, change, or delete codes. So you'll see on my app here, I've added 4 different codes for everyone living in the home. And then I've also added a guest code. The guest code, I move on to the third picture there. You can send an e-key. So if you have a dog walker or someone coming to watering your plants, you can give them a code. And then when you hit share, it'll give you a prompt. You can text or email the code to this new user, and it will give them the 4-digit code, detailed instructions on how to get in. And then for a dog walker or someone watering your plants, if they're only there Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 12 to 12:30, it gives them that information that this is when your code will be able to work. You cannot use this code without being in that time frame. And then also, once you're using the lock, you will get push notifications when the lock is being used. So I will say that since the adapter and it's constantly looking for that notification and it's also connecting with you as the owner, the battery life is about 6 months. I'll turn this around here. So the batteries, you know, you hear 6 months, you get a little weary, but it's very, very simple to change. It takes about 30 seconds. You just slide this back cover off. You take this out. There's no wiring attached to it. It's just a simple slide out. And then it's 4 AA batteries. You just pop those out, get some new ones, pop them in, slide it back in. And then you're gonna slide that down. And that's just how simple it is to change the batteries. I'm gonna slide this back off to show you. So when you get the lock and you go to pair it with your app, there's a QR code there. It's a simple scan with the camera on your phone when you open the app, and it pairs the lock almost instantly. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll show you. I'll slide that cover back on. I just put the batteries back in, and it's a simple, just show you. There you go. Sound is also very quiet compared to our older electronic locks. And if you notice, the interior portion is also half the size as our previous electronic locks. Also within Code and Connect, we provide partnerships with companies that provide unintended showings. So our electronic locks are capable to pair with remote lock or other such companies to give the homeowners, you know, that social distancing, and they can attend unintended showings. So SCHLAGE, we don't just do door hardware. We also provide eyes, which is accessories. We have the door numbers, door knockers, the C-hole, anything that you can think of from top to bottom door hardware. We do provide that through SCHLAGE and Ives. And then we also, if this is something you're seeing on the interior portions of your home, maybe for a bathroom or closet, we do have barn door hardware. Not sure if anyone is seeing that or that's becoming a popular option, but we do have that option available. Something that we offer as being a partner with SCHLAGE, we do provide hardware for samples, model homes. We have samples for wallboards if it's something you want to hang up in your design center, or if you have something of a smaller unit that people come and take a look at things, we do have handheld mounts that you can bring to a table to show the homeowner when picking different styles. And we also have a lock and key program. So with that, we offer marketing pieces within a partnership with SCHLAGE. So we have logo keys. If that is something that we would take your logo and we would stamp it onto a key. We provide document folders that you can use at closing that would insert all the documents and you would hand over to the homeowner. And on the bottom of the screen, this is a cool detail, is if you have different packages that you're offering to homeowners, like a level 1, level 2, or level 3, we are able to kind of place that with your logo, and we have pictures of the locks so they can see that all in a pamphlet, and that way they don't get overwhelmed with the catalogs. With that, we can also show if you're showing any upgrade options that can be listed in that brochure as well. And that was it. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I'd just like to chime in. Thanks, Katie. Again, I'm Eric Strauss with SCHLAGE, Regional Sales Manager for the Mid-Atlantic market. I guess my question would be, are you guys seeing any emerging trends in black stainless and or e-locks in general, and or is that something you already offer? Or is that something you'd like more information on to be able to get a little more comfortable? And we obviously also offer training and things like that for sales agents and or people to, educate the consumer on. Just thought I'd, pose the question. Crickets.
We all good?
It says e-locks are becoming increasingly important. Any info you could share with us would be great. From Mike McCann. Great. Thanks, Mike. We can do that. We can send out video links as well and cut sheets for e-locks. And then if you'd ever want us to get you a lock block sample with a lock on it, and or if you'd want one on a model or one of your sales offices, we're happy to do that. Hillary, did you have something you wanted to add or question?
No, I was going to say that I'm seeing in the showrooms a lot of gold colored things.
Okay.
Yep. So we do have, and I don't know if you have it there, Katie, or not, but we do have satin brass as well as a bright brass, but I think satin's become,
Yeah, closer to the gold.
yeah, more of a gold finish. And that's something if you'd like a sample of it. We also have finish rings, we have them here. So, if you'd ever want those, we have them smaller size and then also larger. But, if you just need something to show people from a finish standpoint, we can provide those as well.
Yeah, this is Tom Kettler of Kettler Four Lines. Yeah, we've been using that front lock system for last year. Actually, we used to optionalize, and now we've standardized it, and it's a very popular feature. I mean, we've been using SCHLAGE for 40 years, so we love your stuff, of course.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate that confirmation and affirmation.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, we put one on our model, and I love it because if I'm jumping in there, I can just punch the code, and then when I go out, and then sometimes we let people use our model for a evening meeting or something, and I can't make it, and then I'll remotely unlock it from my phone, and if I can do it, trust me, anybody can do it.
Well, we appreciate that.
I'm at that age bracket where it's amazing I can do anything on my phone.
There you go. Well, the beauty of that too, guys, you can also delete those codes on the fly too. So if you're not feeling comfortable that those codes have been out in the market for a while, or you've shared them too many times, you can delete them and reprogram codes. But to the comment, we thank you for that. And it is very easy. And what's nice now with the Wi-Fi connectivity, you can do it on the fly from anywhere. As the administrator, like Katie said, and you do get a history button, whether you want to turn that feature on or off, it allows you to know when somebody's entering and or exiting the building itself. So you know that from a application that comes back to you just from a notification when it's locked and unlocked. And then also the e-key seems to be very popular, right? Versus leaving a code out there. You could send a one-time use e-key and then have that thing deleted. So people have asked us about security on that, and it's like a banking credential. So when you send that, it's like an electronic handshake, and then that way it pairs it to your phone when you open it, and you can open that in a text message or an email. And then, like Katie said, it gives you directions if you're not comfortable with how to walk through opening, the hardware.
Yeah, this is Tom again. I had one other question. Are you guys, we've been using lever locks for a long time for interior, and they're easier. They're obviously ergonomically easier. But then I've seen other builders seem to be switching back to knobs. I don't know, is that a cost issue, or have you guys seen any trends, and maybe it's a regional thing, I don't know.
I don't know if Katie has anything. We sell a lot of both, so I'd say propensity probably. Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah. No, I think it's a trend or kind of what homeowners are preferring. I don't think it's really cost driven. I know we've run out or come out with new levers. I think it really just depends on what look the homeowners are looking for. If they're looking for that contemporary, they do go towards the straight lever like Latitude. But if it's just a standard home offering, I am seeing more knobs just being offered as a standard compared to a lever.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a cost spread between a knob and a lever. Knobs are obviously less money. It also depends on style, design, and function. I mean, we
Mhm.
also have rolled out, and I don't know if you have a quick snapshot of the Bowery, Katie, if you can pull it up. If not, we can always send it. But Bowery's more of what I would call a mix between arts and crafts type, craftsman style knob that's round, but it has like a 2¼ inch raised back plate on it. So we can send out cut sheets as well to that, but it really depends on the design of the building that you're, whether it's a residential single family home and or if it's multifamily tenant dwelling. I mean, it really boils down to aesthetics and design and features that you're looking for. But there is definitely a cost spread between knobs and levers.
Right. All right.
Trying to pull up a picture.
I've got a question. I apologize, I joined late, so maybe you already covered it, but for multifamily applications, are you seeing the apartment managers still issue physical keys when they use the electronic locks, or are they going all just touchpad code?
Yeah, so it depends on condos and townhomes. We're doing what I would call touchscreen type locks, but we do have what we call a SCHLAGE control lock. And Katie, I don't know if you have that there, if you want to pull it up, or I can get there, but that's a fob or phone driven application. If you'd like us to send you some more details on that or come out and demo it, but that basically is driven by the property manager. And then it's a fob driven application where you read write the credential from we have what we call an MT20W. It's basically a device that plugs into your computer, and it's Engage software, which is free from us. And then what it is like door files on there. So any amenity space, your front door, your apartment door, you then would read write and then basically program that fob. So back to that electronic handshake, you tell as the property manager what doors that tenant can get in. And the beauty of it is it also has audit trail capability. You can basically pull an audit trail off of that door or that fob at any given time. And then if somebody doesn't pay their rent and or if essentially, there you go. So there's a design with a deadbolt and a lever and what we call an interconnect. So sometimes you have those life safety things that you have to do. One motion, you push the lever down and it allows you to, get out. But it is a credential that basically you have to present to lock it. So there is no key override on this at all. So essentially if the battery would go out, there's 2 nodules on it, and basically you put a 9-volt on there, and the credential that you presented to it, you can power it up and then allow it to, put the credential on it and open it and allow you into the facility. So that's so the property manager has the ability to control that hardware, if that answers your question. But we're happy to demo that or come out and talk to you or send you some detailed information on it.
So the same fob works with both the unit door and the common area access?
Yeah, it can. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Because it's a dual smart credential, depending on what you have from a reader, or if you have a phone or Butterfly. I don't know what your head-in system is from is it driven by a phone or an intercom or some type of application, or is it just a reader? So it's got what I call dual antennas. It's got a prox antenna on one side and a smart credential on the other. Everything driven on our locks is a smart credential, but a lot of readers that are out there today are what they call a prox credential. So we'd have to understand what you're using, but we can typically design the ecosystem of that building to be able to have, whether it's a phone or a fob or a card or even a wristband that you can use to let you in and out of these facilities. So there's a question about, did that answer your question, Junior?
Yes, thanks.
And happy to send you guys any of this data. There's a question in the chat on e-locks, what the backup if it goes down. And all of ours has a battery override, and it's just you can't present, if it's on the residential side, what Katie just showed you, there's essentially a way to power it up and override it, and then that gives you enough juice to let you in. And on the control lock that's on the screen, essentially, like I said, it's a 9-volt battery. You hold it over, and then it gives enough juice to present the credential and it lets you in.
Yep, the encode lock that I just showed, it does have a key override as well. So it gives you about a 2-week warning when the batteries go low, as a bunch of our electronic locks do. And then you have 2 weeks to change out the batteries. But if you're not able to do that in that time frame, we do have a key override for the residential electronic locks.
And it'll flash. It'll give you a warning. It'll flash. It'll show you a low battery indicator. So whether you're the property manager, the homeowner, or the consumer in the home, it tells you way in advance. It'll still let you in. It just doesn't. And just standard alkaline batteries. We don't want anything other than that, because typically if you try to use what we call rechargeable batteries, the life cycle goes like this and it drops off. Alkaline kind of has a gradual. But we're seeing in our SCHLAGE, Z-Wave, and Zigbee locks 2 to 3 years on the battery life. On the encode that Katie's got pictured up there on her screen is about 6 months, depending on the Wi-Fi connectivity. You think about it, the Wi-Fi lock has a pulse and it's always looking for juice. The other ones are sitting in what we call sleep mode until you wake them up. And when you wake them up, then essentially it basically pulls power, but the battery will hold it. Example, I have the Connect lock on front of my home. It's been there 3 years. We do use maybe more what I would call a man door or the garage door. So the front door doesn't get used as much. So the battery life is just, it holds pretty long because it doesn't get used that much, but it is there. The ability to have a touchscreen lock to be able to get you in without a key is pretty nice as well, especially if something else goes awry. So it allows you to get in. You just have to be mindful and check the battery life at least once a year, to make sure it's doing fine. 6 months on the encode, but the control lock that's up there now, Katie has on the picture, basically we'll send a low battery indication light out, and I would check them on a yearly basis just to make sure everything's working fine. Does that answer everybody's questions? Okay, and then I'm assuming we'll get everybody's email link. We can send you guys cut sheets and video links and whatnot, and our contact information. We're happy to come out and demo or get you some product so you can show your clients as well. Any other questions or things that we can answer?
Yeah, this is Tom again. If you can send me some on that key engraving.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yep.
too, because I was not aware of that. I would have thought I would have been aware of that, but there's always new stuff.
Right. Yeah. I can send it to you, Tom.
I appreciate the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. All
Katie,
right.
Eric, thank you guys so much. Great.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Eric.